If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, but let's get right to it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 5. Man, it was so good. Just jumping right in with the action the way they did, where, John Walker's running away from the last crime scene because they did the little recap. And I call it a crime scene because it's a homicide. He killed somebody with a shield. Ugh. And then the three-way battle between Falcon the Winter Soldier and John Walker wannabe Cap was great. Absolutely great. And the way they, spoiler alert, people, okay? Spoiler alert. The way they snapped his arm, because it was like the only way they could pry this shield away from him. And he, oh my God, I was just like grabbing my elbow. Man, I'll tell you what, I really, really, really like this show. It's very well written. It's like they did a lot of messaging throughout this series so far, with only one episode left coming up. And it was a lot of stuff that, we needed to hear. But the way they did it and just sewn this thread so carefully through the storyline, it didn't feel like you were being pounded over the head with some crazy, and this is where some of the other shows out there should take a page from Marvel once again, because they've got, a really great writer writing the show, and they've got a great director directing this show. And I was blown away. I mean, when Sam goes and visits with, the old patriot, I'll call him. And it's funny because he goes and he talks to the grandson. Who knows if the grandson, they didn't allude that the super soldier, and that's one of the things we don't know, is like, can these super soldiers, hook up with somebody, mate with somebody, and then pass on that genetic makeup to make somebody. So it just seemed like they were going in a direction of like, hey, Young Avengers. Because at some point, all of these characters, whether it be Chris Evans passing the torch, or, when you're with a certain character for 10, 12 years, you want to move on, and you just let all this new fresh blood come into the mix. And I feel like they're constantly setting up little things for the future, and that's great. And one of the things I like about what they're doing with Disney Plus is, and I feel like they can really flesh out characters, and that's one of the things I've always, when it came to Sam Wilson's character, is like, he didn't get enough screen time. He was peppered in through all the different films, and you never got a sense of like who he was, where he came from. And that's why I've loved what they've done with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because they've really fleshed out his character. And even Bucky, we had the little bit of Bucky in the first Avenger, and then we had him as the Winter Soldier, but we never really fleshed him out. And like, they've really fleshed out Bucky in this series. Again, I digress. The fight scene in the beginning was fantastic, snapping of the arm. I love how they're setting up what appears to be, the Thunderbolts and the Dark Avengers. If they keep doing little series, like little 6-episode miniseries, because let's be honest with you, it's a miniseries. They don't call it that anymore, because that was a term used in the 80s and 90s when they made television, miniseries. But this is what it is. It's a miniseries. You get 6 episodes, 4 episodes, something like that. You flesh out some characters and you spin them off to the major motion pictures. And I feel like that's what's going to happen. It seems like they're setting up so much stuff going forward, especially with Ramirez. I believe that's the character's name, because Falcon left him his wings, and he was earlier in the earlier episodes messing with the tech and doing things like that, and kind of knew. So I had said in an earlier video that it will be like Batman and Robin, and it will. It's like if you go to the comic books and you look and you see, Captain America the Sam Wilson Captain America, and then he had his sidekick, the Falcon. So it's like they're setting up these guys, and I feel like we're going to see them pop off on the big screen. And I just feel like that's the direction they're going with that. And that would be cool. And I think he'll show up in this last episode with the repaired Falcon wings to help save the day. One of the things, they haven't shown us yet is what the Wakandans gave Sam, which obviously is the new Captain America suit. But it'll be with his wings and the whole 9 yards because he still isn't a super soldier. But it's already leaked out. The toy is already out. So we know what this thing looks like. I'm going to put it up on the screen. We already know what it looks like. This is going to be his costume, and it's accurate to the comic books. I get it. But in some respects, he chose not to be a super soldier. He chose not to take the serum. He took the high road, which still makes him mortal. And to be able to get his ass kicked and wounded in the whole 9 yards. And you saw just in that 3-way fight with John Walker, he was basically 2 super soldiers and him fighting it out. And you saw the damage he had, even when Bucky was like handing him the shield, being like, take the shield. This is your shield. I could easily take it, but you take the shield. Sam just gets beat up. And the action figure, and it looks like this is the direction they're going in, same as the comic book. He has no helmet. He has no helmet. Like, his whole body seems to be protected. And if it's some sort of suit, kind of like what Black Panther had, where it would absorb strikes so that he could absorb the energy and throw it back at him or something like that. Or if the whole thing is, even like the case looked like it was vibranium. It's like the whole thing, his whole costume might be laminated with vibranium, but protect the noggin, protect the skull. It's like, I hope maybe it's got some sort of nanotech in it, like Tony Stark's suit. And if it feels there's a threat, it will protect his head and somehow encase his head in, almost, I hate to say it, but almost like a cyborg. And so it's one of those deals where, like, we're about to get the last episode. We know it's going to be a big battle. I don't believe John Walker will be killed because, again, they've set him up as this sympathetic villain. Like, we care about him because of the post-traumatic stress disorder, because he thought he was doing the right thing by protecting his friend, and his friend died, and then avenging his friend. And, like, we don't hate this guy. Like, I don't hate him. I don't like him, but I don't hate him because, and again, it's like, he had that one moment at the podium where he was like, I am what you made me. You made me this guy. You sent me to war. You gave me the skills. You gave me the leverage to go do what I needed to do to get the job done. And now you want to crucify me because it was caught on video. I understand where he's coming from. It's almost like what they do with a lot of veterans that come back from war. They're kind of disposable. They use them up and then they send them away. And that's kind of what's happening to him. And I feel really bad for his character. I don't hate this guy. But he's going to be, U.S. agent. He's rolling that way. I really thought when he, wanted to have his own shield, like they had that little montage of him. And it reminded me of when Tony Stark in the first Iron Man was building in the cave, that first version of the suit. And it was him forging his own future. But again, like, what is he just using? Titanium, steel? Like, I mean, he doesn't have vibranium, so it's not like the shield is going to be worth a damn. He'll be able to throw it, but I mean, is it going to be able to damage stuff and bounce back? I mean, I'm sure it will, but how much damage can it really take? Like, I just don't get it. And why the paint scheme? Like, he could have done something different with the paint scheme, but he was kind of going with an old school look of the Captain America shield. So I don't know, like, all I know is I'm excited about this last episode. I'm excited to see now that the GRC has been taken over. Julie Louis-Dreyfus looks like she's in this thing, and she's like kind of like the new Hydra. It'll be very interesting, but I hope that I hope they continue this adventure onto the big screen, and they flesh out more of these characters on the small screen, because streaming's where it's at. I mean, we're gonna get our tentpole movies, but are they going to do a Falcon or Captain America and Falcon feature film that'll go straight to Disney Plus? I don't think that would be fair to Anthony Mackie. I think if you've passed the shield on to him basically from Avengers Endgame, and now he's struggling with it, now he's going to embrace the shield, he needs to have a massive movie on the big screen. And even though they're going to make a Black Panther 2, there's some big shoes to fill there as far as the African American superhero. And if they really embrace Anthony Mackie, he could have $1 billion film too as well at the box office. Much deserved. So I'm stoked about where all this is going. And I just, this is probably one of the best Avengers Endgame, kickoff. And again, like I said in my last video, I can't wait to see, Black Widow, and, damn Marvel, you just really know how to make a show. So happy. Thank you, Disney Plus. What did you guys think about episode 5? Is it just getting so good? Oh, I can't wait. We got a week to wait. And see, that's what's the beauty about how they're releasing one episode a week. And I love that they do that. They don't binging, because now we get a week to debate, to go online and look at all the different theories, or talk at the water cooler and just really flesh out what we think's going to happen. And then of course they're going to amaze us with what they do. Let's talk about it in the comments section, and we'll see you on the next one.